I always thought the worst thing Amanda could do was forget our anniversary. Turns out she was just warming up. Ethan, we need to talk. She's standing in our kitchen doorway, holding a manila envelope like it's a dead fish. Her perfectly styled blonde hair catches the morning light streaming through our bay window, the same window we picked out together 12 years ago when we bought this house. Back when we were happy. Back when I was stupid. About what? I ask, though the pit in my stomach already knows. I've been watching her for months now, the late nights at work, the new gym clothes, the way she holds her phone like it contains state secrets. About us. About this marriage. She sets the envelope on our granite countertop, right next to the coffee maker I bought her last Christmas. I've been thinking, and I need you to know that I've been seeing someone. Before we dive deeper into this story, I have one small request. Please subscribe, drop a like, comment, and hit that hype button to boost this channel so more people can discover these incredible Reddit stories. I pour myself coffee, my hands steady despite everything. Seeing someone. His name is Liam. He's a personal trainer at my gym, and he makes me feel alive again, Ethan. Really alive. Her voice has that breathless quality she used to get when talking about vacation plans or new restaurants. I know this is hard, but I think we can work through this. As a family. Work through this. I'm repeating her words because my brain is processing this conversation like a computer running slow software. Amanda wants to work through her affair. How exactly do we work through you screwing another man? She flinches at my bluntness. Amanda has always preferred euphemisms, making love instead of sex, passed away instead of died, seeing someone instead of cheating. I want you to meet him, she says, and now I know I'm in some kind of alternate reality. I want him to be part of our social circle. Our friends already know about him, and they think he's wonderful. If you could just give him a chance. Our friends know? The coffee tastes like ash in my mouth. How many of our friends? Well, Jenna introduced us, actually. And Sarah thinks you two would really get along. Mike said Liam seems like a great guy when they met him at the wine bar last weekend. She's talking faster now, like she's trying to sell me a car. Everyone's been so supportive of us finding happiness. Everyone's been supportive. While I've been working 60-hour weeks as an IT specialist, keeping our health insurance active and paying our mortgage, my wife has been parading her boyfriend around to our mutual friends. They've all been having a grand time watching Amanda find happiness. So, let me understand this, I say, setting down my mug with deliberate care. You want me to welcome your boyfriend into our marriage, our home, our social life. You want me to smile and shake hands with the man who's been sleeping with my wife. And our friends think this is a wonderful idea. I knew you'd be difficult about this. She sighs like I'm a stubborn child refusing to eat vegetables. This is exactly why I needed to explore other options. You never want to try anything new, Ethan. You're stuck in this boring routine, and I need more than that. The envelope sits between us like a loaded gun. I know what's in it without looking. Divorce papers? I ask. Just in case you can't be mature about this situation. She straightens her shoulders, putting on her business voice. Amanda works in marketing for a tech startup, and she's very good at making terrible ideas sound reasonable. But I'm hoping we can find a way to make this work for everyone. Liam is really excited to meet you. I open the envelope and scan the documents. Standard no-fault divorce, 50-50 split of assets, joint custody of our kids. Ross is 19 and in college, so this mainly affects 17-year-old Mia. My daughter will get to watch her mother's boyfriend move into her childhood home. Where is Liam now? I ask. He's at the gym. He teaches a spin class at 9. She checks her Apple Watch, another gift from her devoted husband. I was thinking maybe you could stop by later, introduce yourself. He's really easy to talk to. I sign the papers. Amanda blinks in surprise. She was expecting a fight, tears, maybe some begging. Instead, I'm signing my name with the same pen I used to pay our bills. Ethan, wait. You don't have to. No, this is perfect, I say. And for the first time in months, I feel my pulse slow down instead of speed up. You've thought this through. Everyone's on board. Liam's excited to meet me. I hand her the signed papers. I hope you two are very happy together. She stares at the documents like they might catch fire. I thought you'd want to fight for us. Fight for us? I laugh, and it sounds strange in our kitchen. Amanda, there is no us. There's you, there's Liam, and there's me. You've made that very clear. But the house is yours now, along with everything else. I finish my coffee and rinse the mug in the sink. Habit. I'll pack some things and stay at a hotel until I find an apartment. You can explain to the kids. Ethan, please. I think I made a mistake. Maybe we should talk about this more. But I'm already walking toward the stairs to pack. Behind me, I hear her calling my name, but her voice sounds far away, like she's shouting from the bottom of a well. 3 hours later, I'm loading my car with 2 suitcases and my laptop bag. Amanda watches from the front porch, still holding those divorce papers. She looks confused, like someone who ordered a salad and got served a live lobster instead. Call me when you're ready to discuss custody arrangements, I tell her, and congratulations on your new relationship. I drive away without looking back, but I can see her in my rearview mirror, standing in the doorway of our house, looking smaller and smaller, until she disappears completely. My phone starts buzzing before I reach the end of our street. Text messages from Amanda, each one more frantic than the last. I think we should slow down and talk about this. Maybe I was too hasty. Can we meet for coffee? Ethan, please call me back. I'm worried about you. I turn off my phone and drive toward downtown, toward whatever comes next. For the first time in years, I have no idea what that might be, and it feels like freedom. The extended stay. America on 5th Street smells like industrial carpet cleaner and broken dreams, but it's clean and anonymous, which is exactly what I need right now. I've been here for 3 days, and I'm starting to understand why people become hermits. My phone has 47 missed calls from Amanda and 32 text messages. I've read them all, watching her emotional journey from confusion to panic to anger and back to confusion. It's like watching someone realize they've accidentally deleted their entire computer hard drive. I never meant for things to happen this fast. Liam thinks you're handling this really well, but I'm not sure this is what I wanted. The house feels wrong without you here. I made a mistake. Can we please talk? The last message came in 20 minutes ago. I'm coming to your hotel. I'm not there. I'm sitting at Murphy's Pub, a dive bar 6 blocks from my old house, nursing a beer and listening to Tom Brennan tell me about his latest dating disasters. Tom and I went to high school together, and he's one of the few people in town who wasn't part of Amanda's social rehabilitation project. So, let me get this straight, Tom says, wiping down glasses behind the bar. Your wife tells you she's been screwing some gym rat, asks you to be friends with him, and then freaks out when you actually leave? That's the simplified version, yes. And your mutual friends knew about this guy the whole time? Apparently, Jenna introduced them. Sarah thinks he's charming. Mike had drinks with him. I take a long sip of beer. They've all been very supportive of Amanda's journey of self-discovery. Tom shakes his head. Jesus, Ethan, that's cold. The bar is nearly empty on this Tuesday afternoon. Just me, Tom, and an old man reading a newspaper in the corner booth. It's peaceful in a way my life hasn't been for months. You know what's funny? I say. I'm not even angry about the affair. I mean, I should be, right? But mostly I'm just relieved. Relieved? I've been watching our marriage die for 2 years, Tom. Amanda stopped being happy with anything I did. The house wasn't big enough. My job wasn't exciting enough. I wasn't social enough. She needed more adventure, more passion, more everything. I finish my beer. So she found someone who could give her those things. Problem solved. Except now she wants you back. Now she wants me back, I agree. But only because I didn't react the way she expected. Amanda likes to be the one who controls the narrative. She tells the story. Everyone else plays their assigned roles. Tom opens another beer and slides it across the bar. So what's your next move? Before I can answer, my phone buzzes. Not Amanda this time. It's a text from someone named Jenna Morrison, Amanda's best friend and co-worker, the one who introduced her to Liam. Ethan, I think there's been a misunderstanding. Amanda is really upset, and I think you should know that Liam never meant to cause problems in your marriage. Maybe we could all sit down and work this out like adults? I show the message to Tom, who reads it and laughs. Like adults, he says. That's rich. You know what the really funny part is? I pull up Amanda's Instagram on my phone and show Tom the latest posts. Look at this. The photos are from last night. Amanda and Liam at some trendy restaurant downtown, both of them glowing and beautiful. He's got the kind of sculpted physique that comes from spending 4 hours a day at the gym, and she's wearing a dress I've never seen before. The caption reads, "Sometimes life surprises you with exactly what you need." Blessed, new chapter, authentic. She posted this yesterday, I tell Tom. 12 hours after signing divorce papers. Look at the comments. Tom scrolls through the responses. Sarah, you two are perfect together. Mike, living your best life. Jenna, so happy for you both. These are your friends? Tom asks. We're my friends. Apparently they've been Team Amanda for a while now. My phone rings. Amanda again. I let it go to voicemail, then listen to the message on speaker. Ethan, I'm at your hotel and you're not here. I'm really worried about you. I think we made a mistake rushing into this whole divorce thing. I know I hurt you, but I never wanted it to end like this. Liam and I have been talking, and we think maybe we could all find a way to make this work. Please call me back. I love you. Tom raises his eyebrows. She loves you. She loves the idea of me, I correct. She loves having a backup plan. I finish my second beer and pull out my laptop. Time to do what I do best. Gather information. What are you doing? Tom asks. Research. I open several browser windows and start typing. Amanda thinks she can control this situation because she's been managing the story from the beginning. But she forgot something important about me. What's that? I'm really, really good with computers. For the next hour, I dive deep into the digital footprints of my soon-to-be ex-wife and her boyfriend. Social media posts, check-ins, tagged photos, credit card records I still have access to. The timeline that emerges is fascinating. Amanda and Liam have been seeing each other for 6 months, not the few weeks she implied. They've been to restaurants, concerts, weekend trips to the mountains. She bought him a watch for his birthday in March, a $1,500 Tag Heuer that she charged to our joint credit card. But the most interesting discovery comes from Liam's social media. He's not just Amanda's boyfriend. He's a serial dater who specializes in married women. His Instagram is full of photos with different women, always at expensive restaurants, always with captions about living life to the fullest. A reverse image search reveals that 3 of his recent girlfriends are married women from the suburbs. Tom, I say, turning my laptop around, meet Amanda's soulmate. Tom whistles low. This guy's running a game. A very successful game. Look at this. I show him Liam's Venmo transactions, which are public. Regular payments from women with names like Jennifer M. and Sarah K. and Amanda H., always with cute captions like, "Thanks for dinner, beautiful," or "You're amazing." He's got multiple sugar mamas, Tom says, and Amanda thinks she's special. I close the laptop and smile for the first time in days. This is going to be fun. My phone buzzes again. This time it's a text from my daughter Mia. Dad, what the hell is going on? Mom says you abandoned the family, but Ross says that's not true. Can you call me? I step outside to call her back. Mia answers on the first ring. Dad, are you okay? Mom's been crying for 2 days and there's some weird guy hanging around the house. I'm fine, sweetheart. Your mom and I are getting divorced, but that has nothing to do with you and Ross. She says you just left without trying to work things out. Did she tell you about Liam? Silence on the other end. Then, the personal trainer guy? Yeah, she said he's her friend and you couldn't handle her having male friends. I close my eyes. Of course that's the story Amanda told. Mia, your mother has been having an affair with Liam for 6 months. She asked me to welcome him into our family and our social life. When I said no, she gave me divorce papers. Oh. Another pause. Oh, shit. Dad, I'm so sorry. It's not your fault, honey, but I want you to know that I didn't abandon anyone. I'm just giving your mother what she asked for. Where are you staying? A hotel for now. I'm looking for an apartment. Can I come see you? Of course, but maybe don't tell your mother where I am just yet. After I hang up, I sit in my rental car outside Murphy's pub and think about Amanda's voicemail. She wants to make this work. She loves me. She and Liam have been talking about solutions. What Amanda doesn't understand is that I've been planning for this conversation for months. I've been transferring money, organizing documents, and setting up safeguards. When you work in IT, you learn to prepare for system failures, and Amanda's system is about to fail spectacularly. The Riverside Marketing Group occupies the 3rd floor of a gleaming office building downtown, all glass and steel and motivational posters about synergy. I've been here exactly twice, once for Amanda's Christmas party and once for a company picnic. Today makes 3. I'm not here to see Amanda. I'm here to see her boss, Richard Barker, a 60-year-old man who built his advertising agency on the principle that drama is bad for business. He's also the kind of old-school guy who believes that married employees are more stable than single ones. Ethan. Richard stands up from behind his mahogany desk and extends his hand. Good to see you again. Amanda didn't mention you were stopping by. She doesn't know I'm here, I say, settling into the leather chair across from his desk. I wanted to talk to you about something personal that might affect her work performance. Richard's smile fades slightly. He's been through enough employee divorces to know where this conversation is heading. I'm sorry to hear that, he says carefully. But you should know that Amanda's personal life is her own business, as long as it doesn't interfere with her professional responsibilities. Of course. I completely understand. I pull out my phone and open a photo album I've been curating for the past week. I just thought you should know that she's been using company resources for personal activities. I show him screenshots of Amanda's expense reports from the past 6 months. Dinners with clients that were actually dates with Liam. A business trip to Aspen that was a romantic weekend getaway. Hotel rooms charged to the company credit card for afternoon meetings that lasted 3 hours. Richard's face grows darker with each image. These are serious allegations, Ethan. I'm not making allegations. I'm just sharing information. I swipe to the next photo. Amanda and Liam at an expensive steakhouse, tagged on social media the same night she claimed to be working late on the Morrison account. Amanda's been very open about her new relationship on social media. It's easy to cross-reference her posts with her expense reports. Jesus, Richard mutters, studying the photos. How long has this been going on? About 6 months, but like you said, her personal life is her own business. I put my phone away and stand up. I just thought you should have all the information, in case there are any questions about billing irregularities. Richard walks me to the door, his face grim. Ethan, I'm sorry about your marriage, but I appreciate you bringing this to my attention. Just looking out for the company, I say. Amanda always speaks so highly of Riverside Marketing. I'd hate to see anything damage the agency's reputation. I'm in the elevator heading down when my phone buzzes. A text from Amanda. Richard wants to see me in his office. Did you do something? I don't respond. Instead, I drive across town to Fitness First, the upscale gym where Liam works as a personal trainer. It's one of those places where people go to be seen working out. Lots of mirrors, loud music, and equipment that looks more like modern art than exercise machines. The front desk girl is maybe 22, with perfect teeth and the kind of enthusiasm that comes from drinking too much protein powder. Hi, are you here for a tour? We have some amazing membership packages available. Actually, I'm here to see Liam Rodriguez. I'm Ethan Hayes, Amanda's husband. Her smile falters slightly. Oh, let me see if he's available. She disappears into the back, and I can hear urgent whispers. A few minutes later, Liam emerges from the trainer's office. He's exactly what I expected. 6'2", perfectly sculpted, wearing a tank top that shows off his arms and a smile that's been practiced in the mirror. Ethan, great to finally meet you, man. He extends his hand for a shake, and his grip is firm but not aggressive. Calculated. Amanda's told me so much about you. I'm sure she has. I shake his hand and smile back. She's told me quite a bit about you, too. Listen, I know this whole situation is weird, but I really respect what you and Amanda built together. I'm not trying to replace you or anything like that. I just want to make her happy, you know? He's good, I'll give him that. The right mix of confidence and humility, acknowledging the awkwardness while positioning himself as the reasonable party. That's very mature of you, Liam. Can I ask you something? Of course, man. Anything. How many other married women are you currently seeing? His smile doesn't waver, but something shifts behind his eyes. I'm sorry? I pull out my phone and show him screenshots from his own social media accounts. Photos with Jennifer, Sarah, and Michelle, all married women, all posting comments about their amazing personal trainer and their life-changing fitness journey. These are just friends, he says, but his voice has lost some of its casual confidence. Friends who pay for your dinners, buy you expensive gifts, and take you on weekend trips? I swipe through more photos. That's a lot of generous friends, Liam. Look, I don't know what you're trying to prove. I'm not trying to prove anything. I'm just curious about your business model. I put my phone away. Amanda thinks she's special. She thinks you two have some kind of unique connection. I'm wondering if you've told Jennifer and Sarah and Michelle the same thing. Liam glances around the gym, checking to see if anyone is listening. The front desk girl is pretending to organize membership brochures, but she's clearly hanging on every word. Amanda is special, he says, lowering his voice. What we have is different. Different how? Because she's getting divorced? Because that makes her more available than your other married girlfriends? You don't understand. I understand perfectly. I lean closer, keeping my voice friendly but firm. You're running a game, Liam. You target unhappy married women, make them feel special, let them pay for your lifestyle. It's actually pretty clever. His face flushes red. That's not... The problem is that Amanda doesn't know she's part of a rotation. She thinks you're her soulmate, her ticket to a more exciting life. She's planning to introduce you to her daughter, Liam. She wants you to move into our house. Maybe you should talk to Amanda about this instead of harassing me at my workplace. Oh, I'm not harassing you. I'm just getting to know my wife's boyfriend. I smile and pat his shoulder. It was great meeting you, man. I can see why Amanda finds you so charming. I turn to leave, then pause at the front desk. Excuse me, I say to the receptionist. I think there might be some billing irregularities with my wife's account. Amanda Hayes? Could you print out her payment history for the past 6 months? The girl looks confused. I'm not sure I can... It's fine, I say, pulling out my wallet and showing her my driver's license. We have a joint checking account. I just want to make sure there haven't been any unauthorized charges. 5 minutes later, I'm walking out of Fitness First with a detailed record of Amanda's gym expenses. Personal training sessions, spa treatments, guest passes for Liam's friends. She spent over $4,000 in 6 months, all charged to our joint account. But the most interesting item is at the bottom of the list, a payment for something called Couples Retreat Weekend, scheduled for next month. Amanda and Liam are planning a romantic getaway to some resort in Colorado. My phone rings as I'm getting into my car. Amanda, calling from work. Ethan, what did you do? Richard just put me on administrative leave pending an investigation into my expense reports. That sounds stressful, I say. Maybe you should talk to Liam about it. I hear he's very supportive. Did you go to my office? Did you show Richard something? I had a conversation with your boss about billing irregularities. As a concerned husband, I thought he should know that company resources might have been misused. Silence on the other end. Then, you bastard. Amanda, you asked for a divorce. You wanted me out of your life so you could be with Liam. I'm just making sure there are no loose ends. This isn't what I wanted. Then you should have been more careful about what you asked for. I hang up and drive toward my next stop, the law office of Patricia Chen, the best divorce attorney in the city. It's time to make some changes to those papers Amanda was so eager for me to sign. By the time I get home to my hotel room, my phone has 17 missed calls and 43 text messages. Amanda, Liam, Jenna, Sarah, even Mike. All of them wanting to know what I'm doing, why I'm being so difficult, why I can't just be reasonable about this whole situation. I order a pizza, open a beer, and start planning phase 2 of my new life. Because Amanda was right about one thing, I had gotten stuck in a boring routine. But I'm not boring anymore. The knock on my hotel room door comes at 7:30 in the morning, sharp and insistent. I already know who it is before I look through the peephole. Amanda stands in the hallway wearing her serious conversation outfit, black slacks, white blouse, and the expression she uses when trying to return something without a receipt. "We need to talk," she says when I open the door. "Good morning to you too." I step aside to let her in, noting how she surveys my temporary living space with barely concealed disgust. The extended stay America doesn't meet her standards for acceptable accommodations. "Ethan, this has gone far enough. I lost my job yesterday." "You were put on administrative leave pending an investigation. That's not the same thing as being fired. Don't play word games with me." She sits on the edge of the bed, the only seating option besides the desk chair. "Richard says there are discrepancies in my expense reports going back 6 months. He wants me to provide documentation for every client dinner, every business trip, every hotel room. That seems reasonable. Documentation is important in business." She stares at me like I'm a stranger. "You know I can't provide that documentation because those weren't business expenses." "Then you should probably talk to a lawyer about your legal options." "My legal options?" Amanda laughs, but there's no humor in it. "Ethan, I could go to prison for embezzlement. Do you understand that?" I sit down in the desk chair and study her face. She looks like she hasn't slept, and there are stress lines around her eyes that I haven't seen before. Part of me, the part that loved her for 12 years, wants to comfort her. But that part is getting smaller every day. "How much?" I ask. "How much what?" "How much did you steal from your company to fund your affair with Liam?" "It wasn't stealing. I was going to pay it back." "How much, Amanda?" She's quiet for a long moment, staring at her hands. $12,000, maybe 15. I whistle low. That's a felony in this state. "I know that." She stands up and starts pacing the small room. "God, Ethan, I know that. But I was planning to pay it back once the divorce was finalized, and I got my share of our assets." "Our assets?" I lean back in the chair. "That's interesting. Tell me, what assets do you think you're entitled to?" "Half of everything. The house, the savings accounts, your retirement fund. That's how divorce works." I open my laptop and pull up a series of documents I've been preparing for the past 2 weeks. "Actually, Amanda, that's not how this particular divorce is going to work." "What do you mean?" I turn the screen toward her. "Remember when you had me sign those divorce papers, the ones you prepared with your lawyer? You might want to read the fine print." She squints at the screen, scrolling through the legal language. I watch her face change as she realizes what she's looking at. "This says you're waiving your claim to marital assets due to adultery and financial misconduct." "That's correct. But I didn't agree to this. These aren't the papers I had drawn up." No, these are the papers I had drawn up. By a different lawyer. The papers you gave me were just a rough draft, right? You said we could work out the details later. Amanda's face goes white. You tricked me. I protected myself. There's a difference. She scrolls through more of the document, her breathing getting faster. The house is in Mia's name? When did you... How is that possible? I transferred the deed 3 weeks ago. Mia is 18 in 6 months, and I thought it would be good for her to have some financial security. You know, in case her parents got divorced and one of them had legal troubles. You can't do this. I'll fight it in court. With what money? You're unemployed and facing potential criminal charges. I close the laptop. Amanda, you wanted out of this marriage. I'm giving you exactly what you asked for. This isn't what I asked for. You asked for freedom to be with Liam. You asked for me to be out of your life. You asked for a divorce. I stand up and walk to the window, looking out at the parking lot. The only thing you didn't ask for was the consequences. She's crying now, which is something I haven't seen in years. Amanda doesn't cry. She gets angry, she gets frustrated, she gets determined. But she doesn't cry. I made a mistake, she whispers. I know I made a mistake, but this isn't fair. Fair. I turn back to face her. Was it fair when you spent our money on another man? Was it fair when you told our friends about your affair before you told me? Was it fair when you asked me to welcome your boyfriend into our home? I was confused. I was unhappy. You thought you could have everything. Me as the stable provider, Liam as the exciting lover, our friend supporting your brave journey of self-discovery. I sit back down, suddenly exhausted. But you can't have everything, Amanda. Nobody gets to have everything. My phone buzzes. A text from an unknown number. This is Liam. We need to talk. Meet me at Riverside Park in an hour. I show Amanda the message. Looks like your boyfriend wants to have a conversation. Don't go, she says quickly. Liam's been really angry about what happened at the gym. He thinks you're trying to ruin his reputation. His reputation as a professional boyfriend to married women? That's not what he is. Amanda, I've done my research. Liam has been running this same game for 3 years. You're not his first married girlfriend, and you won't be his last. You're lying. I pull up Liam's social media on my phone and show her the photos I found. Him with Jennifer at a restaurant last month, with Sarah at a concert 2 weeks ago, with Michelle at a spa just 3 days ago. He's still seeing them, I say gently. All of them. You're part of a rotation. Amanda stares at the photos, her face cycling through confusion, denial, and finally, recognition. But he said he loved me. I'm sure he did. He probably says that to all of them. She sits down heavily on the bed, looking smaller than I've ever seen her. What am I going to do? I don't know, Amanda. That's not my problem anymore. I grab my jacket and head for the door. I'm going to go meet your boyfriend now. You should probably call a lawyer about those expense reports. Ethan, please. Can't we figure out some way to fix this? I pause with my hand on the doorknob. You know what's funny? 2 weeks ago, if you had come to me and said you were unhappy, if you had asked for marriage counseling or suggested we take a trip together or even just told me you needed more attention, I would have done anything to save our marriage. And now? Now I realize that you didn't want to save our marriage. You wanted to replace it with something more exciting. I open the door. Well, congratulations. Your life is about to get very exciting. Riverside Park is a 20-acre stretch of grass and trees along the Clearwater River, popular with joggers and families with small children. It's also where Amanda and I had our first date 16 years ago, which makes it either ironic or poetic that I'm meeting her boyfriend here. I haven't decided which. Liam is waiting by the old stone bridge, wearing designer jeans and a polo shirt that probably cost more than my hotel room. He looks like he's posing for a magazine ad about successful young professionals enjoying outdoor recreation. Ethan, he says as I approach. Thanks for coming. Your message said we needed to talk. We do. He gestures toward a bench overlooking the river. This whole situation has gotten out of hand. We sit down, maintaining the careful distance of two men who are being polite but not friendly. A family of ducks paddles by in the water below us, completely unconcerned with human drama. Amanda's pretty upset, Liam says. I imagine she is. Look, I know you're angry about the affair. I get it. But taking it out on her career, going after her job, that's not cool, man. I study his profile. He's got the kind of strong jawline that photographs well, and the kind of confidence that comes from never having to worry about money or consequences. Tell me about Jennifer, I say. What? Jennifer Morrison. Married, 2 kids, lives in Westfield. You've been seeing her for 8 months. Liam's jaw tightens. I don't know what you're talking about. Sure you do. She pays for your dinners, bought you that nice watch you're wearing, takes you on weekend trips to the mountains. I turn to face him fully. Just like Amanda does. Just like Sarah and Michelle do. Those are just friends. Friends with benefits, financial benefits. Liam stands up abruptly. I don't have to listen to this. No, you don't. But you should probably know that I've been in contact with Jennifer's husband, and Sarah's husband, and Michelle's husband. I remain seated, keeping my voice conversational. Turns out, they're all very interested in learning more about their wives' personal trainer. You're bluffing. Am I? I pull out my phone and show him a series of text messages. Here's David Morrison asking me for copies of the photos I found of you and Jennifer. And here's Paul Hendricks wanting to know if I have any other evidence of your relationship with Sarah. Liam's face has gone pale under his gym tan. What do you want? I want you to stay away from my wife. She's not your wife anymore. You're getting divorced. The divorce isn't final, and until it is, Amanda is still legally married to me. I stand up and face him, but more importantly, I want you to understand something about consequences. What kind of consequences? The kind that happen when you build your lifestyle on other people's marriages. Jennifer's husband is a lawyer. Sarah's husband owns 3 restaurants in town. Michelle's husband is a detective with the police department. I let that sink in for a moment. You've been playing a dangerous game, Liam. This is harassment. No, this is information sharing. I'm just helping some concerned husbands understand why their wives have been so distracted lately. Liam takes a step toward me, his hands clenched into fists. For a moment, I think he might actually try to hit me. But then he seems to remember that we're in a public park in broad daylight, and that wouldn't fit his image as a reasonable, charming guy. You're going to regret this, he says instead. Maybe, but you're going to regret it more. I walk away, leaving him standing by the bridge. Behind me, I can hear him making a phone call, probably to Amanda. They're going to need to figure out their next move, because their comfortable little arrangement is about to get very uncomfortable. My phone rings as I'm getting into my car. It's Mia. Dad? Mom's freaking out. She says you stole all our money and she's going to lose the house. That's not exactly accurate, sweetheart. But it's complicated. Can I come stay with you? Just for a few days? I need to get away from all this drama. I look back toward the bridge, where Liam is still on his phone, gesturing angrily. Pack a bag. I'll pick you up in an hour. Thanks, Dad. And just so you know, I never liked that Liam guy anyway. He uses too much cologne and he kept trying to give me fitness advice. I laugh for the first time in days. I'll see you soon, honey. As I drive back toward town, I think about Amanda's question. What am I going to do? The answer is simple. I'm going to finish what she started. The Marriott downtown has a much better continental breakfast than the extended stay America, which is why Mia and I are sitting in their lobby at 8 in the morning, sharing waffles and plotting the destruction of her mother's social life. So let me understand this, Mia says, scrolling through Amanda's Instagram on her phone. Mom's been posting all these pictures with Liam, telling everyone how happy she is. but he's actually seeing like 4 other women? At least 4, possibly more. And her work friends have been supporting this whole thing? Enthusiastically. Mia shakes her head. That's so messed up. I mean, I get that Mom was unhappy, but this is just... Wow. My 17-year-old daughter has handled her parents' divorce with remarkable maturity, probably because she's been watching our marriage fall apart for the past 2 years. Kids notice more than adults think they do. There's something else, I tell her. Your mother might be in legal trouble because of money she spent on Liam. How much trouble? The kind that involves lawyers and possibly jail time. Mia sets down her fork. Dad, I know Mom screwed up, but she's still my mother. I don't want her to go to prison. Neither do I, honey, but she made choices, and choices have consequences. So what happens now? Before I can answer, my phone buzzes. A text from Tom at Murphy's Pub. Turn on Channel 7 News. You're going to want to see this. I pull up the local news website on my phone. The lead story makes me smile. Local fitness trainer under investigation for fraud. The article is brief, but devastating. Liam Rodriguez, personal trainer at Fitness First, is being investigated by police for allegedly defrauding multiple clients. According to sources, Rodriguez may have been involved in romantic relationships with married women and receiving money and gifts under false pretenses. Holy shit, Mia says, reading over my shoulder. Language. Dad, this is serious. They're talking about fraud charges. My phone rings. Amanda, of course. Did you see the news? She asks without preamble. I did. You did this. You called the police. Actually, I didn't, but I may have shared some information with concerned husbands who decided to file complaints. Ethan, they arrested Liam this morning, at the gym, in front of everyone. I can hear her crying, which still feels strange after all these years of marriage. Amanda doesn't cry, except apparently she does now. I'm sorry to hear that, I say, and I mean it. I didn't want Liam arrested. I just wanted him out of our lives. The police want to talk to me too. They think I was part of some kind of conspiracy. Were you? Of course not. I didn't know about the other women. I thought he loved me. Mia is watching me carefully, trying to gauge my reaction to her mother's distress. This is the delicate part. I want Amanda to understand the consequences of her choices, but I don't want to destroy her completely. There's a difference between justice and revenge. Amanda, you need to get a lawyer. Right now. Don't talk to the police without legal representation. I can't afford a lawyer. I'm unemployed, remember? Then get a public defender, but don't say anything to anyone until you have counsel. Why are you helping me? Because you're Mia's mother, and because despite everything, I don't actually want to see you in prison. I hang up and look at my daughter, who's been listening to every word. You still care about her, Mia says. I care about what happens to her. That's not the same thing as wanting her back. Good, because she really screwed this up. My phone buzzes again. This time, it's a text from Jenna Morrison. We need to talk. Coffee at Starbucks on 5th Street in an hour. Who's that? Mia asks. Your mother's friend. The one who introduced her to Liam. The one who's been encouraging this whole affair? That's the one. Mia grins. Can I come with you? I want to see this. Absolutely not. You're going to school. Dad, it's Saturday. Then you're going to do homework. I don't have any homework. Then you're going to find some homework to do. She laughs and steals a piece of my waffle. Fine, but I want a full report later. An hour later, I'm sitting across from Jenna Morrison in a crowded Starbucks, watching her fidget with her coffee cup and avoid eye contact. Jenna is one of those women who thrives on other people's drama, but gets uncomfortable when she becomes part of the story. This is a mess, she says finally. Yes, it is. Amanda's falling apart. She called me at 6 this morning, crying about Liam being arrested and losing her job and you taking all the money. I didn't take all the money. I protected our assets from someone who was embezzling from her employer. Jenna winces. She says you're being vindictive. I'm being practical. Ethan, I know you're angry, but Amanda really did love you. She was just confused. I study Jenna's face. She's younger than Amanda, maybe 35, with the kind of carefully maintained appearance that requires significant time and money. She works in marketing too, which means she's good at spinning stories to make them sound better than they are. Tell me something, Jenna. When you introduced Amanda to Liam, did you know he was seeing other married women? What? No, of course not. Really? Because according to his social media, you were at several events where he was with other women. Jennifer Morrison's birthday party last month, Sarah Hendrick's anniversary dinner in March. Jenna's face flushes red. I don't know what you're implying. I'm not implying anything. I'm asking directly. Did you know that Liam was running a game on married women? It wasn't a game. He genuinely cared about these women. All of them? At the same time? Liam is he's very charismatic. Women are drawn to him. Married women with disposable income are drawn to him. Jenna sets down her coffee cup with more force than necessary. Look, I know how this looks, but Amanda was miserable with you. She needed something exciting in her life. So you decided to help her destroy her marriage. I helped her find happiness. You helped her find a con man who's now facing fraud charges. Jenna is quiet for a long moment, staring out the window at the Saturday morning shoppers walking by. When she speaks again, her voice is smaller. I didn't know it would end like this. What did you think would happen? I thought you'd fight for her. I thought you'd try to win her back, and it would make your marriage stronger. I lean back in my chair, genuinely surprised. You thought I'd compete with Liam for my own wife? Other husbands have. When Jennifer's husband found out about her personal trainer, he started working out, bought her expensive jewelry, planned romantic trips. They're in counseling now, but they're working it out. And you thought that's what Amanda wanted? For me to jump through hoops to prove my love? She wanted to feel desired again. She wanted to feel like she was worth fighting for. I finish my coffee and stand up. Jenna, if Amanda wanted me to fight for her, she shouldn't have handed me divorce papers and asked me to be friends with her boyfriend. Where are you going? Home. To pack. You're leaving town? No, I'm moving into my house. The one that's now in my daughter's name. I put on my jacket. Amanda has until tomorrow to collect her things. After that, she'll need to find somewhere else to live. You can't just kick her out. I'm not kicking her out. The divorce is final as of yesterday. Amanda's lawyer filed the paperwork to expedite the process, remember? She's no longer legally entitled to live in that house. Jenna stares at me like I've grown a second head. You're really going to make her homeless? I'm going to let her figure out her own living arrangements, like an adult. I leave Jenna sitting in Starbucks and drive across town to the house I shared with Amanda for 12 years. Her car is in the driveway, and I can see her through the kitchen window, talking on the phone and gesturing frantically. I use my key to let myself in. Amanda looks up when she hears the door, and I can see she's been crying again. Her hair is uncombed and she's wearing the same clothes from yesterday. I have to call you back, she says into the phone, then hangs up. What are you doing here? I live here. No, you don't. You moved out. Temporarily, but the divorce is final now, and this house belongs to Mia. I'm her father and legal guardian, which means I'm responsible for the property. Amanda sits down at the kitchen table, looking defeated. So you're kicking me out. I'm giving you 24 hours to pack your things and find somewhere else to stay. Where am I supposed to go? I don't have any money, I don't have a job, and now everyone thinks I'm a criminal. You could stay with Jenna, or with one of your other friends who were so supportive of your new relationship. They're not returning my calls. I'm not surprised. Amanda's social circle was built on her image as a successful, happily married woman. Now that the image has cracked, her fair-weather friends are keeping their distance. What about Liam? I ask. He's in jail, Ethan. They're holding him on fraud charges. Then I guess you'll need to figure something out on your own. I start walking toward the stairs, but Amanda's voice stops me. I know you hate me, she says quietly. I know I deserve this. But I'm scared, Ethan. I'm really scared. I turn back to look at her. She's sitting at our kitchen table, the table where we used to eat breakfast together, where we helped the kids with homework, where we planned vacations and argued about bills and lived our ordinary married life. I don't hate you, Amanda, but I don't trust you, and I don't want to be married to you, and I'm not going to rescue you from the consequences of your choices. So, this is it? After 16 years together, you're just going to walk away? You walked away first. You just didn't expect me to let you go. I go upstairs to pack my things, and for the first time in months, I feel like I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. The Clearwater Summer Festival happens every year on the first weekend of August, transforming downtown into a carnival of local vendors, street performers, and families with sticky-fingered children clutching cotton candy. It's the kind of wholesome community event that Amanda always loved, back when she cared about being part of the community. This year, she's the main attraction, though not in the way she'd prefer. I'm standing near the bandstand with Mia and Ross, watching the crowd flow around us like a river around stones. My son came home from college yesterday, ostensibly for the festival, but really to make sure his family hadn't completely imploded in his absence. So, let me get this straight, Ross says, adjusting his sunglasses against the bright afternoon sun. Mom's boyfriend got arrested for fraud. She lost her job for embezzlement, and she's living in a studio apartment above the dry cleaner on Elm Street. That's an accurate summary, I confirm, and her friends won't talk to her because they think she's toxic. Also accurate. But she's still planning to show up here today. Apparently so. Mia points toward the entrance of the festival grounds. There she is. Amanda stands near the ticket booth, scanning the crowd with the desperate intensity of someone looking for a life preserver. She's wearing a sundress I've never seen before and sunglasses that can't quite hide the stress lines around her eyes. She looks terrible, Ross observes. She looks like someone whose life fell apart, I correct. There's a difference. Are you going to talk to her? If she wants to talk to me. But Amanda doesn't approach us. Instead, she walks purposefully toward the information tent, where several of her former friends are volunteering. I can't hear the conversation from this distance, but I can read the body language. Amanda talking rapidly, gesturing with her hands. Jenna and Sarah exchanging uncomfortable glances. The conversation ending abruptly with Amanda walking away, her shoulders rigid with anger or humiliation, or both. Ouch, Mia says. That looked painful. Public rejection usually is. My phone buzzes. A text from Tom. Your ex-wife is at my bar asking about you. Thought you should know. I show the message to my kids. Looks like your mother is looking for me. Are you going to go? Ross asks. Eventually. But first I want to enjoy the festival with my children. We spend the next hour wandering through the vendor booths, eating funnel cake and watching the local high school band perform on the main stage. It's peaceful in a way that family outings haven't been for years. No tension, no arguments, no undercurrent of marital dissatisfaction poisoning the atmosphere. Dad, Mia says as we're watching a juggler perform for a crowd of children. I have to ask, are you happy? What do you mean? I mean, your marriage is over, Mom's life is a disaster, and you're living in a house that's technically mine. Are you actually happy about how this turned out? I consider the question seriously. Am I happy? Or am I just satisfied that justice has been served? I'm not happy that your mother is struggling, I say finally. But I'm happy that I'm not struggling anymore. That makes sense, Ross says. You guys were miserable together for the past 2 years. We were. But I thought that was just how marriages worked after a while. I thought everyone was secretly miserable. And now? Now I realize that some people are miserable because they're with the wrong person. and some people are miserable because they're never satisfied with what they have. Mia nods thoughtfully. Mom was never satisfied. No, she wasn't. And I spent years trying to figure out how to make her happy, not realizing that she didn't want to be happy. She wanted to be excited. She wanted drama and passion and constant novelty. Which is exhausting, Ross observes. Very exhausting. My phone rings. Amanda, calling from Murphy's pub. Ethan, I need to see you, please. I'm at the festival with the kids. Then come to the bar afterward, I'll wait. Amanda, please, I know I don't have the right to ask for anything, but I need to talk to you, just once more. I look at Mia and Ross, who are both listening to my side of the conversation. One conversation, I say. That's it. Thank you. 2 hours later, I'm walking into Murphy's pub to find Amanda sitting alone at the far end of the bar, nursing what looks like her third or fourth drink. The festival crowd hasn't made it this far downtown, so the bar is nearly empty, except for a few regulars watching baseball on the television above the bar. You came, she says when I sit down beside her. I said I would. Tom approaches from behind the bar, raising his eyebrows in a silent question. I nod, and he pours me a beer without asking what kind I want. How are the kids? Amanda asks. They're fine. Worried about you, but fine. I miss them. They miss you too. We sit in silence for a few minutes, watching the baseball game neither of us cares about. Amanda looks smaller than I remember, diminished in a way that has nothing to do with physical size. I fucked up, she says finally. Yes, you did. I mean, I really, spectacularly fucked up. I destroyed our marriage, lost my job, got involved with a criminal, and alienated everyone who used to care about me. That's a pretty comprehensive list. And you know the worst part? I did it all because I was bored. I was bored with our life, bored with our routine, bored with being married to a nice, stable man who loved me. I take a sip of my beer. Boredom isn't a crime, Amanda. No, but what I did about it was. She turns to face me fully. I convinced myself that I deserved more excitement, more passion, more everything, and instead of talking to you about it, I decided to find it somewhere else. Why didn't you talk to me? Because I knew you'd try to fix it. You'd suggest counseling or date nights or a vacation, and I didn't want to be fixed. I wanted to be someone else entirely. And now? Now I realize that the person I wanted to be is someone I don't actually like very much. Tom refills Amanda's drink without being asked, then retreats to the other end of the bar to give us privacy. So what happens now? I ask. I don't know. I'm living in a studio apartment that smells like dry cleaning fluid. I'm unemployed and probably unemployable, at least in this town. I have about $300 to my name and no friends left. What about Liam? Liam pled guilty to fraud charges yesterday. He's going to prison for 2 years, and he has to pay restitution to his victims. Turns out I wasn't even his most expensive girlfriend. Jennifer Morrison gave him over $30,000. Jesus. I was so proud of being special to him. Turns out I wasn't even in the top 3. Amanda finishes her drink and signals Tom for another. I'm starting to worry about how she's getting home. Ethan, I need to ask you something, and I need you to be honest. Okay. Is there any chance at all that we could try again? Not now, obviously. But someday, after I get my life together, after I prove that I've changed. I study her face, looking for traces of the woman I fell in love with 16 years ago. She's still there, underneath the stress and regret and alcohol, but she's different now. We're both different. No, I say gently. There's no chance of that. Because you can't forgive me? Because I don't want to be married to you anymore. Even if you hadn't had an affair, even if none of this had happened, I think we would have ended up divorced eventually. Why? Because we want different things. You want excitement and novelty and constant stimulation. I want peace and stability and someone who's happy to build a quiet life with me. Amanda nods slowly. So this was always going to happen. Maybe not like this, but yeah, probably. She's crying again, but quietly this time, without the dramatic sobs I've become accustomed to. I'm sorry, she whispers. I'm so sorry for all of it. I know you are. Do you forgive me? I think about that question for a long moment. Do I forgive her, or do I just not care enough to stay angry? I forgive you for the affair, I say finally. I forgive you for the lies and the financial mess and the public humiliation. But I don't forgive you for asking me to welcome your boyfriend into our home. That was cruel in a way that had nothing to do with being unhappy or bored. You're right. That was cruel. It was designed to make me complicit in my own humiliation, and that's not something I can forgive. Amanda finishes her drink and stands up unsteadily. I should go. How are you getting home? I'll call a cab. I pull out my phone and open the Uber app. I'll get you a ride. While we wait for the car to arrive, Amanda looks around Murphy's pub like she's trying to memorize it. This is probably the last time we'll ever talk like this, she says. Probably. I want you to know that I did love you. Maybe not the right way, maybe not enough, but I did love you. I loved you too. Past tense. Past tense. The Uber driver texts that he's outside. Amanda gathers her purse and walks toward the door, then pauses. Ethan, I hope you find someone who makes you happy. Really happy, not just content. I hope you figure out what you actually want from life. Yeah, me too. She leaves and I sit at the bar for another hour, finishing my beer and thinking about the past 6 months. Tom eventually comes over to collect the empty glasses. How do you feel? He asks. Tired, but good. Think you'll see her again? Not like this. Maybe at graduations or weddings, family stuff, but not like this. Any regrets? I consider the question seriously. Do I regret how I handled Amanda's affair? Do I regret the calculated way I dismantled her new life? Do I regret not fighting for our marriage? No, I say finally. No regrets. Tom nods and wipes down the bar. So, what's next? Next, I go home to my house and my kids and my quiet life, and I stop waiting for the other shoe to drop. Sounds boring. It sounds perfect. I pay my tab, tip Tom generously, and walk out into the warm August evening. The festival is winding down, families packing up their blankets and heading home. In a few hours, the downtown will be cleaned up and returned to normal, like nothing happened. But something did happen. My marriage ended, my wife's life imploded, and I discovered that I'm much stronger than I thought I was. I drive home through streets filled with festival traffic, past the house where Amanda is probably sitting in her studio apartment, past the gym where Liam used to work, past all the places where our drama played out over the past 6 months. When I pull into my driveway, I can see Mia and Ross through the living room window, watching a movie on the couch. My children, safe and happy and completely unaware that their father just had his final conversation with their mother. I sit in the car for a moment, looking at my house. The house that's now legally Mia's but will always feel like home to me. The house where I'll rebuild my life, one quiet day at a time. My phone buzzes. A text from an unknown number. Hi, this is Sarah Chen from the coffee shop on 5th Street. Tom gave me your number and said you might be interested in going out sometime. No pressure, just coffee if you're interested. I stare at the message for a long moment, then type back, I'd like that. How about tomorrow afternoon? Her response comes quickly. Perfect. See you at 2. I put my phone away and get out of the car. Through the living room window, I can see Mia and Ross making room for me on the couch. Inside, my children are waiting for me. Tomorrow, I have a coffee date with someone new. Next week, I'll start looking for a better job. maybe something that doesn't require quite so many hours. For the first time in years, I have no idea what comes next, and that feels like the best possible place to be. Some things break. Some things shatter. Me? I'm shatterproof.